Hi, I'm Lauren Urbina. I'm from the Gormley Group, and today we'll be talking about the 4P tool. What is the 4P tool? It's called the Price Point Plus Portal Tool. As you can see, that's a mouthful, and that's why we commonly refer to it as 4P. So how is the 4P tool used? Well, we submit to the government a price proposal template, or what we call a PPT. We have to follow their guidelines as far as the template is concerned, so that way it can run through the 4P tool seamlessly. It then gathers information from other contractors who have already been approved on GSA to determine if the pricing that we are submitting is both fair and reasonable. So it shows us, there's something here. It's either an equal price, a lower price, or a higher price. If we're within the bounds, then our pricing should be accepted without any other complications. On occasion, we submit pricing that isn't determined to be fair and reasonable by the 4P tool. So, what do we do with that? Well, if we get a 4P back that doesn't have the best results, there are a few actions that we can take. First, we want to take a look to make sure that the pricing is in fact fair and reasonable based on the cost to the company. If that's the case, and we still were rejected, then we want to have a conversation with our contracting officer to determine why that boundary is the way it is. Sometimes the 4P has outdated information. If that's the case, we can often combat that with things like if it's a product, showing the cost associated with it. Or if we're manufacturing our own products, then we can then show the cost of goods. So there are different things that come into play when we're talking about our 4P results. So if those results are not quite favorable, we want to look at, can we lower our price? Is that something that we can be able to do while still remaining above water? If so, that is a good option because we are wanting to propose pricing that is fair and reasonable. So some things to keep in mind. While your contracting officer is reviewing your results, they're looking at the system. They don't necessarily know all the ins and outs of your business. So if there are extenuating circumstances, we want to make sure that we're helping communicate those. Often, picking up the phone or sending an email to your contracting officer can help engage in some of those discussions and hopefully help us alleviate some of the burden. So occasionally, the CO will tell you the 4P results are not favorable, but they won't share them with you. So what do you do then? It is difficult sometimes to know without knowing the specifics of what they're looking at, but again, pick up the phone, send an email, or contact us. We're happy to help. This is where having a relationship with your contracting officer can really come in handy. So just remember, the 4P tool isn't perfect. It's only as good as the information we're putting into it. I know sometimes we don't always want to help our competitors out, but if we're putting our information out there, it helps keep everyone on a level playing field. So just remember, keep up to date on your EPA increases and your additions, and when your pricing increases, make sure that you're understanding what that looks like on your GSA schedule. We want to keep our pricing in line both commercially and on the GSA schedule. And always, always remember, your contracting officers and specialists are human. They like to have a conversation and understand where everyone is coming from. So don't be afraid to reach out to them and be able to engage with them. Again, this is something that Gormley Group is happy to help our clients with because it can be a messy discussion sometimes. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.